Why do we swim in between the red and yellow flags? The lifeguards will use their knowledge of the ocean to come down the beach every day and find that location that they put the red and yellow flags. Now that's going to be in an area where there's a big, safe sandbank. It's a flat area, a flat sandbank, where waves are even, they're parallel to each other and parallel to the beach. And the white water, or the waves, will come in all the way to the beach. That'll deem it the safest area. If they can't find something so safe, they will use the next best option. How do we identify rips? You'll find the rips on either side of those shallow sandbanks. Now the rips are indicated by the deeper water. Now at low tide you'll be able to find these a lot easier because on either side you'll find the shallow sandbanks. There'll be no waves breaking and no white water in the rips. And you can see ripples on the surface indicating its outward flow. Now these rips will change every day, every hour because of the size of the surf, the wind direction and the tide. So be careful when you're swimming in between the flags to always look around you because the water flows off those sandbanks into the rips, so please take care. How do we know where a rip is going to take us? Well, all rips will take you off the beach, some quite fast, but 90% of them go out further than the surf break itself. Instead, after it moves quickly off the beach, it'll actually move you over towards the sandbank. Very few rips actually go out past the surf break itself. The ones that do are generally in big surf conditions. And then occasionally there's ones that follow rocks around. So identify these rips and stay away from them. The larger the surf, the stronger and the faster those rips will move. But don't worry, those rips don't take you underwater, so therefore they are not the cause of drowning. What if I'm caught in a rip? Allow the rip to take you off the shore and then feel which way the current's going and follow the current by actually swimming. Now that's going to take you over to a sandbank. So once you get to the white water or to the broken waves, you know you're going to be safe. So get there by following the rip. The most important thing you can do is to stay afloat. So even if you're a weak swimmer, do whatever you can to keep your head above the water and stay afloat. If you can't float or you're not sure, go and see a lifeguard or a lifesaver before you go in the water. Never panic. Tread water and save your energy. The rip's going to take you over to the sandbank where you can either walk back all the way to the shore or get pushed back by the waves. Now, if you're scared, put up your hand and yell for help. Never try and swim back towards the beach because you won't get there. At low tide, the rips will take you quite directly and quite fast over to the sandbanks. When you reach this area, you'll feel the change of water will take you back to shore. Now you can walk back to shore, but be very careful that you follow the white water back because this will indicate the shallowest water. If that white water stops, you might end up back in deep water and back into the rip. At high tide, the water will move a lot slower towards those sandbanks, and when you reach the sandbank, you may not be able to stand. Just turn around and allow the water to push you back to shore. Now if you swim away from the waves, you're certainly swimming away from your assistance back to shore. So follow the waves all the way back. Should I swim in an unpatrolled beach? Well, if you do swim in unpatrolled beaches, you are taking a big risk. But if you must, find a big level sandbank. It's going to be indicated by the waves or the white water which is breaking parallel to each other and parallel to the shoreline. Now that water should travel all the way to the shoreline. If it doesn't, it's going to be hitting deep water and that will changing direction. Now what you must do is stay in the middle of the sandbank to make sure you stay away from the rips on either side. What sort of waves should we catch? Well, if you're strong enough to get through the surf or experienced enough to use a rip, you should be able to catch the waves out the back. Dumping waves or barreling waves are the heaviest and the most dangerous. They form tube, great for surfers, but really dangerous for weekend warriors. They actually pick you up and drive you into the shallow water, causing neck or back injury. Waves that break in onshore winds, which are winds that blow from the ocean to the land, are much safer and easy to catch. The waves tumble down the face of a nice gentle slope and they break in deeper water. Taking off and surfing this wave is a lot easier, and it's a lot gentler fall. If you're inexperienced though, just spend a lot more time in the whitewater before you get out the back. When I'm body surfing, should I go to the bottom when I'm going under a wave? Well, yes, of course I should, because the waves and the whitewater are quite turbulent. So to avoid that turbulence, you go to the bottom, because the deeper you go, that turbulence dies down and it allows you to go under the wave. And the quickest way to get back to the top, of course, is to push off to the bottom to get to the surface. Now, if you're afraid, don't be, because there's nothing on a sandbank that's going to cause you any trouble. Okay kids, how do I paddle a surfboard? Well, there's two important things to paddling a surfboard. One is posture, and two is positioning on the board. So for our positioning, we need to make sure the board lies flat in the water like this. If it's pushing down like that, that means we're too far up the front of the board, doesn't it? So we need to move back on the board so it comes like this. If it's back and pushing water, that means you need to come back up the front of the board so the board lies trim in the water. When we're paddling the board, we need to lift our chest off the board, so we're using muscles and our tummy muscles, all right? You need to squeeze your bum cheeks together, so you're pushing your pelvis into the board. That'll give you a nice firm posture, so you're using all your big muscle groups. When we paddle our board, we need to use our arms one at a time like freestyle. Keep our back nice and straight and our body straight, and then every other muscle needs to be relaxed. All right, our arms need to be bent, and we need to extend them out, not too far, but nice and close to the board so we can pull through and exit nice and strong at the back. How do we catch a wave on a surfboard? Well, make sure if you choose a wave, you commit to catching it. Otherwise, the more you hesitate, the more you'll get dumped. Make sure you position yourself in an area that you think the wave's going to break, because if you're too far in, the wave's going to pick you up and dump you. If you're too far back out to sea, the wave's going to go straight past and you're not going to be able to catch it. So when you're catching the wave, feel yourself go down the wave, keep paddling, and then as you're going down, take 2 more quick strokes, and then you need to quickly put your hands by the side of the board and throw yourself back with your arms, okay? That'll stop the board from nose diving and you getting thrown over. All right, so a quick movement back, and then once you've gone down the wave and you feel safe, you can start moving back up again using your hands. Never use the front handles because you will nose dive. How do I body surf a broken wave or the whitewater? Well, from a standing upright position, I wait for the wave to come to me, and as it does, I dive forward, landing flat on the surface of the water. Now I keep my body streamlined and stretched out from the belly button, and I keep all the weight on my hands, so my momentum is always going forward. The common mistake people make is they lift their body back. They turn their body into a banana, and the banana's not going to go through the water. So we keep it nice and streamlined. When you start running out of air, take a one-arm freestyle stroke. Make it quick and get back in your streamlined position. And when you're getting close to the shore, the wave's going to start dying out. So the more streamlined you are, the further you're going to take the wave in. How do I body surf an unbroken wave? You need to select the right wave at the right time. Swimming with your head down, you need to look under your armpit at the wave. And then as the wave gets to you, you need to make your next stroke and your last stroke a real big one with a lot of momentum, so it will carry you down the wave. If it is a smaller wave, you go back in your streamlined position like you would if you were catching a broken wave. If it is a larger wave, stop yourself from racing down the wave. Instead, spill down the wave, holding yourself back a bit. Now, if it's a really big wave, you can opt to throw the arms back by your side to avoid your hands getting in the way. Now, when you start coming back out in front of the wave, you throw your arms back out in front and go into your streamlined position, which will take you into the beach. How do I stand up on my surfboard? I'm down the beach and practice standing up on the sand, but it's the vital techniques and the timing of catching a wave that's going to enhance your surfing. Concentrate on your stomach muscles when you're going from a lying down position to standing up. It'll take a few goes to get your feet in the right position. Then we're going to work on bending our legs so we can get our power through our radical manoeuvres. How do I negotiate the surf on my board? Well, the best way is to use a rip. On any craft or on any race, a rip is always the best way, but remember, rips don't always go out the back. So at some stage during our journey, we're going to have to go through the surf. Now, there's several ways on little waves to get through the surf. First is to just paddle into the wave, and as you hit the small wave, throw your hand to the front and punch through it, keeping your body streamlined, and then allow the wave to go over the top of you. As the waves get bigger, you can duck dive a surfboard by digging your knee into the middle of the board and scooping it under the wave. Your body follows and the wave goes over the top. But this won't work with a foam board or a bigger board because they don't sink. For foamies and bigger boards, you can use a technique which bounces you over the wave. You sit back on the board before the wave hits you, and then as the wave impacts, you lie back down, the momentum will carry you over the wave. Then there's the Eskimo roll. As the wave approaches, you grab the handles or the sides of the board, you roll the board, and the momentum will pull you under the wave or the white water. The edge board will stop catching so the wave doesn't take the board into shore. Some surfers choose to throw their board, but this is dangerous because that board can hit other surfers and you can always break your leg rope. Hi, I'm Craig Riddington for the Beach and Surf Report. Now, if you're under 16 and a keen surfer,